and a dog. We've got that great Australian saying, you know, it's a dog's breakfast, which the Americans always find amusing. That most species don't eat their own waste and can survive doing that. That the toxin for one species is the nutrient for another. Now that's a big opportunity, and that, diesel is a toxin to me, but if I feed it to an oyster mushroom, it'll get big and, loves it. Right? So, there's all of these different things. That viruses for one species are harmless for species in 3 other kingdoms of nature. So what does that tell us? Well, where can we change that? Well, the more diversity that we have in our systems, then the more likelihood that we're able to have the opportunities to get rid of these pathogens, because there's going to be a lot more of an ecological attack in consumption. The more diverse, the more local, the more resilient, the more efficient. Well, that should be the way we describe our regional economies, which currently are not. They're getting less and less resilient, they're getting less and less diverse, and less and less efficient. So and so on. So other work that we've been involved with is in effluent treatment. And I don't know, this is not a big dairy area, but there might be some piggeries out here and whatnot, and concentrated operations. And we're not people who come in and said, well, gee, I don't like confinement operations, but if that's what you've got and that's what you're stuck to, well, let's make it better. Let's make it so it is more efficient. And let's deal with some of the waste concentration that you've got here and use creative ways to do that generate employment and opportunity. And John Todd and his wife Nancy Jack Todd have done great work. This is a system in China. It's a canal where it's one of these new cities that's sort of grown overnight, and all of the sewage just goes into these canals. And in order to be able to clean those up, they've basically made floating gardens. And their cannas, all sorts of stuff in there. Their roots go down into the water and literally consume all of the pollutants. And the water's clean enough now that people grow fish in these things. I was talking to a client yesterday, Jeff Power, about he wants to do a chicken or poultry processing facility on his farm. And that's all fine, that's pretty cool. What happens with all of it when you mix water and blood and guts and all that sort of thing together? What are you going to do with that? And I said to him, well, what I would do is what my friend in the UK, Jay Abrahams, has done here. This is a wastewater treatment system. So he's built a series, he's got a septic tank, so all of the waste, this is from a dairy, a 500 head dairy. So all of the solids come from the dairy wash down, they go into the tank, there's normally into the pit, as happens on any dairy, and then the water that comes off that, the solids are left behind, the water that comes from that goes into a serpentine of lagoons, swales, which are compacted, topsoil, planted with willows, whatever the local wetland vegetation is. And by the time you go through a few of these systems, it comes out, it's almost drinking water quality, because the soils and the matrix of organisms within that soil are pulling out all of those nutrients. And the water is being transpired into the atmosphere, and it's how it goes. It's quite profound, yes?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
On the previous slide we had those canals with sewage. Is that treated or that one there?
No, it's untreated sewage.
So there's species and everything?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Caddyshack, if you remember. You don't be swimming in that water with you now, though.
Darren, I've just come from a 1-month retreat in Laos, and there were...
Lucky you.
Yeah, it was great. There were 50 people on that land, and they had their toilet block, ablution block, had a biofiltration system of charcoal, gravel and sand, which then went down to bananas and pawpaw and cassava.
Yeah, so kind of like like a banana circle type
type of thing.
Effluent treatment
So they
system.
filter out the solids, then the nutrient overload goes down into the plants. By the time it gets down into the streams, because it was all in hill tribe country,
Yeah,
and that water's very, very clear.
Yeah.
In fact, it's part of a waterfall sanctuary. It's good to go back.
yeah, well, it's a similar system, yeah.